Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
I'm home, honey.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode. On this episode, I am headed out to the country with the family just to get out of town and enjoy some fresh country air. I'm also planning on doing a little side visit to a local country scrapyard to look for possibly another project car as my wife films this and she is hearing this for the first time. But there's also another vehicle not too far away. I have been looking for an old station wagon or something cool, but we're going to do a little treasure hunting while we're out here and hopefully find something fun. So follow along on today's adventure as we dig around out in the country, try and find some cool stuff, and generally just have fun.
It is just a stunning, lovely day out in the country today. Blue skies, green grass, birds are chirping, frogs are croaking. Well, they're not dying, they're just making their noises. But it's beautiful out, and it's a great day to go exploring.
Every single time.
What are you guys doing, playing rock, paper, scissors? Abigail, are you winning?
No, I am.
Just about at the first location. We're gonna stop and have a look at an old Buick. All these little houses here back onto Wabamun Lake, which is just a beautiful little community.
In 200 meters, the destination is on your left.
And I think there's no missing the Buick. It's right on their driveway. Well, from here it looks pretty good. I guess I'll know better once I get out and have a closer look. Okay, now this is a 1955? 56, okay. And what was the main difference between the 55 and 6?
The body and the chassis changed a bit too.
I think rear...
And the 55 had round sort of ports on the side.
Yeah, 567 Chevs and 567 Buicks and Olds, they all share some commonalities.
Yeah.
But you've got the radial wide whites.
Yep.
Are those Coker tire?
I can't remember.
Or Diamondback Classics? There's a few companies that make them.
Yeah.
I see what you mean by there's some...
That's the Roadmaster fender there.
So you've got a Roadmaster fender on it.
Yeah, it's the best one we could find at the time. And this is original here. This fender's original.
Okay.
That one was shot. So.
Now, did they both originally have the 3 portholes?
Yeah.
On either side?
And
Okay.
Roadmaster had 4.
Okay.
Roadmaster had 3.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's why this one's coming out.
Oh, got you, because there was an extra portal that got filled in.
Yeah.
Okay. So how bad was the rust on it originally?
It was right through, so the inner fender and outer fender.
Okay.
So like it was the stuff down here that's really hard to fix.
Right.
So that's why it's just better. The
Found it.
Roadmaster fender was perfect at the time. So
Yeah, so it just needs a little bit of TLC there.
yeah,
And this is the original color?
this Robin's egg blue.
I do like it. I do like the color.
This with a black and white interior, it was classy. I almost like the color too.
Chrome looks... Did you have the chrome redone?
All the chrome was redone, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we put the dual exhaust port bumper on it, but we only ran a single exhaust manifold. That was original.
Gotcha,
So we
okay.
just- and then I have, I'll just show you here.
You missed a spot.
Did I? Thanks.
Locals?
Exactly.
As if the car doesn't look clean enough already.
These are really hard to find, but these are the J bars. We just never installed them.
Okay.
So these aren't tapped yet, right? So
Gotcha.
this is left. It fits right here.
Oh, I see.
Bumper like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we just never installed them.
And you didn't reline the trunk from the looks of things. Do you have the original style carpeting or carpet kit for back here?
No, it's I looked at it on oldbuickparts.com.
Was it like a plaid sort of matte?
It's just yeah. I think this one's just gray. It's pretty boring. The specials
Okay.
were, and that's the manual there.
It looks like they took the easy way out when they were painting the trunk lid.
Yeah, exactly.
They cut it and
took it off and painted it. I can see that's original paint on the underside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it too, the jack instructions and all that.
Interior's redone. I see what you mean by the brocade on the bottom there.
That box there is the new black.
You have new fabric for it?
Yeah.
Did they redo the
The
sides?
sides and back were redone.
Okay.
This is new. Just this seat ran out at the time.
Okay, so they upholstered it with the old stuff.
They just bolted around it.
That's unusual. Okay.
We couldn't find the material. It was really hard. And then my dad found that stuff down in New Jersey. And
I guess I didn't need to ask you about what year it was, considering it says it right on the license plate. If I would have just spent an extra minute looking.
all good.
Was the engine rebuilt?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And how many miles since the rebuild?
Maybe 3,000.
Okay, so not much use.
A lot of use, yeah. Like it literally gets out 3 or 4 times a year. Goes in the SEBA parade. We'll maybe go out to Nanton there at the NW and spin to Calgary, spend some time in Calgary.
Well, I mean, it's a sharp looking car.
Yeah. And there's a throttle linkage just under here, so.
Oil bath air cleaner. Okay, do I like the Buick? Yes. Truth be told, one of my very favorite cars from when I was, you know, an early teenager was a Buick just like that. 55, 6, and 7 Buicks. I think they're just beautiful looking vehicles, and I've always kind of wanted one. So that car, I love the color. The restoration was not done to a very good quality, so there is going to need to be some work done on it to bring it up to speed. But that didn't stop me from making an offer on it. So I'm headed back to the farm now, where I'm gonna go visit and have good family times and family adventure. And I might get a phone call back this afternoon letting me know one way or the other whether I just bought myself a Buick. But if I do get the car, we're gonna have to do some paint work on it. Interior I can finish myself, I'm not worried about that. The kick panels were never put in, just little things need to be done. But a lot of the expensive stuff was done, such as the chrome, the engine rebuilt. It's had a lot of good work done to it. So I'm headed back, and I might have an update for you all in a little while. It's always so cool to see abandoned infrastructure and old buildings. See if I can get a little bit closer to get a better shot. Looks like this was a good sized little operation. They had their chicken coop out there, a little garage. Nice little property, really. Somebody's left it behind. Next stop, we are going over to a local scrapyard, kind of a country scrapyard, to see if there's anything worth picking out. I've been here before, and there were some neat vehicles in there that I wanted to have a second look at. So we'll go see what's new and happening and fresh at the old scrapyard out here, and maybe there'll be a project car to bring home. We've arrived. There's the Redneck Express. See you mud bogging in that? Is that the idea? Yeah, I like your tow truck. I think that's pretty cool. Was that like a 64 or so?
Yeah.
Little cats, C10s. Always love looking at old cars.
Yeah.
There was that old truck that was down here last time, a C10 or something off in the bush over that way. Is it still there?
Depends which one you're looking for.
Oh, this one kind of caught my attention. What was this, about 63 or so? I think it looks like about a 63 or maybe 64 Chevy Impala. Don't think it's the SS. Mind you, it does have this stainless steel insert that SS's usually do. But that's a 2-door hardtop. That would be a pretty cool car. Somebody's put a Hearst kind of shifter in there. Let's see if the door opens up. If only we had smell-o-vision. It just smells like a musty old car. But the bones are there. I mean, that upholstery could be redone with little effort. I think the problem on this car would be the body. You've got tacked in fenders. The rear quarters are all rusted out. It's had a lot of work. That trim's been pulled off. But really good looking car when they're all put together and really desirable. A few years ago, I bought a 64 Impala convertible out of a garage. They'd been sitting there for years. I quite like those cars, but don't really like them in that kind of shape. Little Chevy Cavalier convertible. I don't see too many of those around anymore. I recognize that body shape. These are older Fords, Thunderbirds, from the looks of things. 59 or 60, somewhere in there. This even has the wide white wall tires on it. The decent tread. Funny how you end up finding a car like this in a scrapyard that was probably restored and on the road probably in the 80s or so, and then this happens to it. It's weird, it's got frosted glass. Funny sort of two-tone blue and white interior. Bucket seats, console. It's a cool car. I had one of these T-Birds once. I was really like the look of the lines on the back end, how that trunk curved down. He's got 2 of them? 3. There's another one there. And the body on that one doesn't look half bad, really. Mine was white. I had a white one. Oh, a little Mustang, hatchback. Is it a 5-liter?
Yeah.
So that's a 5-liter with the factory 4-speed. Well, there's a lot of people like these Fox body Mustangs.
Yeah. That's for sure.
What's he asking for the Mustang?
1,500 bucks.
1,500? Well, you know, considering it's a 5-liter with the factory 4-speed, that's probably a decent price. They're starting to go up in value. Cobra.
Supposed to run and drive.
Basically, it just needs body.
A little Granada there is a factory 302 4-speed as well.
Oh, the Ford Granada down there? That's a 4-speed car.
Yeah, that's the Ford here.
I just kind of walked past it not thinking much of it at all. Because I don't really like the looks. I'm not snobby, but I don't like the looks of most 70s cars. Is it just me? Oh yeah, there it is. 4-speed. So it would have been kind of a hot car at one time.
It's a rear car.
Yeah, Granada with the factory 4-speed.
Didn't make very many of them.
Ooh, I liked how that... You got to kind of lift the door.
Maybe some hinges or something.
Oh, I think so. I'll let you grab that. That's a theft deterrent. If you try and steal the car, your door's gonna fall off along the way. But I mean, it's a basis for a restoration for someone. And it is rare enough that someone will probably do it down the road. I think that Mustang would be, out of all the cars here, the Impala, that's worth some money fixed up. The T-Birds are cool. They're not really expensive T-Birds, but most people nowadays would probably prefer to have like a 5-liter Mustang. Or the younger generation that's restoring cars. Especially one that runs and drives. You got some implements back there. I came out here because I wanted to look at that little Frontenac wagon. I like your almost truck.
Almost?
Yeah. Mercury. And it's just basically a chassis.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Where's the rest of it though?
Still got it.
Oh. Well, I think you might get some bugs in your teeth driving this one.
I think I found a box for it the other day.
So you'll have a box and a front clip. Did somebody take the body to use it for a hot rod or something? Or?
I got a cab here and another cab somewhere else around here.
Oh yeah.
That's Ford. I'm not sure what year, but
Well, the cab would probably be
pretty much the same.
Yeah, very similar.
Ford, isn't it?
Yeah, a big old deck truck there too. Your Parisienne convertible sitting there. Yeah, I'm gonna walk around this way. Hey, it looks like my friend Josh has been out here. That's the type of stuff he does to his vehicles. Draws all over the dashboards. Oh, another Merc clip. I'm walking over this way. There's an old Pontiac convertible. You know, the body's not too bad on this car. Really?
Well, your rockers and stuff with quarters, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, compared to that Impala, it's not bad. This is about the same kind of shape the top of my Rolls is in right now until we get it
redone.
383 or a 283 or a 327 in it, whichever.
327, yeah. See, that's what happens. The top goes on these cars, and then all the weather gets in there, and there goes your interior. Be surprised what you can clean up, though. Not this.
But you got a framework to start covering and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's all you need, really. I mean, the interior of that Rolls-Royce project I'm working on wasn't much better than this, sad to say. And it's all redone now. You get the right person, knows what they're doing. Power top.
Yeah.
I can see the
I don't know if this one works. My 67 it works on, but I don't
the top still works on your other one.
Yeah. This
Or-
one I haven't done anything with it. Bought it, hauled it in.
Well, sometimes you just got to get these things and then figure out what to do with it later on.
This is another 300.
Yeah, is this like the car that the Green Hornet used? They had a Chrysler 300, I think, that the Green Hornet had. I've kind of always really I thought it'd be fun to buy one of these and fix up and make a Green Hornet car out of it. This would have been a very expensive car, brand new.
Yep.
This would have been top of the line. You know, the thing is, I bet that lacquer paint that's under there, if you took an afternoon polishing, get all that moss and lichen and everything off there. I have cleaned up cars that looked worse than this, and then you find out the paint's half decent. Sadly, back window got smashed out. Probably a tree or something fell on it. Seeing what's under the hood.
Yeah, try it.
It's gonna be something big.
Find the latch.
This is the one I actually came out to look at. I'll come over to that in a second. There we go. Oh yeah, it's all there. Did you ever try and turn it over? I'm guessing with those wires, that's not gonna start. It looks like it's stuck. I mean, it's rebuildable. If the person needs a parts car, though, this really isn't that bad. That bumper looks half decent. That front bumper is like really good. No rust holes through it or anything.
Marker lines are broken.
Yeah. And then this, you know, these little Frontenacs are pretty rare. This is essentially like an early Ford Falcon, but in Canada they did the Frontenac trim. It was a 1 year only car where they took a Ford Falcon and they essentially just modified the grille and the hubcaps, which this one doesn't have, and made it into a Canadian only car. It's got, I had one of these. Oh, the hood doesn't like to lift on it?
Without wrecking the hood.
Okay.
Motors in it and stuff, whatever.
Motor's in it, it's
One
missing.
shock tower missing or whatever. But
I see that, yeah, the shock tower is gone. What I'm curious about, I can hold this. You can see if it's if it's seized up.
the flywheel looks closed, but doesn't have anything with me. I'll try board to try that.
I'm gonna say it might need some new tires.
Oh no, little air.
What's cool about it though is that it's a two-door. It's a two-door wagon. Now we couldn't remember, it's got the usual kind of rust around the rear. See, that's a bummer. It's missing the outer skin and the glass. That's a really odd thing to be missing off the back of this car. Like somebody probably had a Falcon and they wanted to scrap this car. They took it off the wrong car. I mean, you could probably find a tailgate somewhere. They were happy about it. They were so happy that they got the back off. They said, hey, let's just spray a little smiley face on there.
The guy that sold it to me was happy because he got to sell it to somebody.
Yeah, that's true. Hard to say what's in here for parts. It might be the fuel tank out of it.
I doubt it, but
You think he just threw whatever metal he had lying around in here?
yeah, I'm thinking a bunch of junk got tossed in me.
Yeah, they look at it just for scrap weight. But look, the bumper's good.
Yeah.
Tail lights are good. Stainless is all here. They're really difficult to find curved glass on both side windows is there. Nice thing about a car like this is it's not very big. So restoring it wouldn't take as much effort, but then you look at the bottom, that's all rotted away down there. And these cars have a tendency to rust out in the back where the rear frame is.
This is a car that should be back on the road. Truth be told, I think there's probably, I think they said 5 left out there. What is that? For better protection. I think that's an antique condom dispensing machine. I'm gonna try and drag that out of there. Kind of weird thing to see in the back of an old station wagon. Or is it? I was way wrong. That is a fuse box. Different kind of sparks that fly with that thing. It looked like a service station, like, you know, you put your quarter in and radio is missing, dash is there, windshield is busted out, steering wheel is there, the chipped headliner is shot. It's doable, but is it worth doing? You know, probably to the right guy. I don't know if I'm that right guy, but it is kind of a neat old thing. I'll walk down the line here and see old trucks. Move these trees out of the way. You know, it's been sitting a while when you're getting moss on top of your engine. Pontiac. That's a great hood ornament right there. I'm gonna stop and take a picture of it. This blue one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Had a white racing stripe kind of down the side, and then it had racing stripes on the roof. Probably vinyl on the back at one point. That looks to me like it was a vinyl roof.
This one's pretty beat up, so I bought this one for trying to make one of it.
Well, it's a fastback. That would be a pretty cool car. Look at that diamond pleat upholstery. Somebody was having fun driving around in this back in the day. And then you...
Same car.
Yeah, you've got one in slightly better shape sitting next to it. Hubcaps are on it. That's a bonus. What's in it for a drivetrain on a Parisienne like that?
Small block 7 in this.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy enough to replace. Like a 350?
Probably 327.
Oh, 327 or something. Okay.
Little grills, they didn't usually have 350s in them.
Yeah, that one took a hard hit in the door. That's probably what ended that one's life.
I would say.
Kind of an interesting design how they did that. They dropped the front down and lowered the grille real low. But what are the odds of finding 2 of them? Here you go. That looks like about a 59 Pontiac.
59 Pontiac. Everybody saves the Impalas.
Pontiac's got to be much more rare than the Impala, you'd think.
Not too many people saved them. This one's actually fairly solid.
Yeah, it doesn't look half bad.
I think it was only a 6-cylinder car, this one.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the 6-cylinder. Little 6-cylinder in that guy. Well, at very least, Charlie, you've got a collection of really nice bumpers. Every bumper out here is the last good remaining thing of the vehicle. Another Chrysler. 300?
No.
Yeah, where's the giant hamster cage that used to be in here? And where's the giant hamster? Newport. 2-door fastback.
I got the console 7.
Well, see, there's a wagon there.
Yeah, 67 Impala.
Yeah, and it's got the wood paneling down the side. Again, I don't know why I keep calling out the bumpers, but look at that. You know, don't need a bumper. You do need some trim for the front, though.
Supernatural's car.
Yeah, that's right. They used a 4-door version of this in Supernatural.
Yeah.
Those are what, hay rake blades sitting in there?
Oh, no. Cultivator shovels.
Cultivator shovels. There you go.
Some heads in there for 350 Chevy or something.
I'm not a farmer. I recognize farm stuff, but I don't know what it's for exactly. You know, it's surprisingly hard to find old wagons.
Yeah.
I mean, you find them like this, but...
This should be a 327.
Oh, look, it's got the old headlight covers on it. These sort of plastic covers protect your headlight.
Yeah, still got a small block in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a fancy air cleaner on it.
Is that about a 53 DeSoto, something like that?
I can only guess.
53 or 4. That grill is super desirable for hot rodders. Guys are always looking at putting that DeSoto type grill in their rods.
The old Ford's method.
Yeah, they'll take an old Ford and put the DeSoto grill in. Boy, we're...
I said I just bought that from Aldi. Because that's the same motor as in my Rebel.
Oh, that's right. You've got a Rebel. I see an old Buick, about a 62 or so,
Yeah.
hidden in the trees.
Yeah.
These trees have popped up a fair bit since last time I was here.
That's the motor for my 58 Buick.
It's a forest. Oh, there's a little, what is it, Suburban?
Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth Suburban. That
Two-door wagon.
hood has buckled. That's a neat car, actually.
No.
That'd make a good base for a little delivery vehicle.
It's kind of like the old Woody.
What happens is the metal fatigues, and if the hood stay up for too long, it'll actually collapse. It wasn't in a collision, it just folded over.
Oh, hinges seized up probably until they tried closing it.
Yeah, smacked it down, and that was that. But you can tell that the type of steel they used on the older cars was really thick. You know, this car, way worse shape than a lot of the other ones, but look, there's no rust poking through. It's just all, this is all still solid. That's good steel right there. See another Pontiac. You've got the land of Pontiacs out here.
Yeah, this is torpedo back.
Torpedo back Pontiac. Torpedo back, of course, meaning that
I think it's a 49.
the back end comes down on a severe sort of angle like a fastback. See this right here? They call that a torpedo back. And when I was a kid, torpedo backs were kind of a really desirable car for collectors. You had a torpedo back, that was pretty special. You got hubcaps back there.
Yeah. Still fairly solid.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually,
It's sitting up on blocks and stuff like that.
it doesn't look too bad. It makes you wonder how close some of these cars are to starting.
This one here was
The Dodge was turning over.
it was running, and it was running when it was parked. So
Old farm trucks. Oh, you got a cab off of something back there.
yeah, 5-window Chevy cab and another Dodge.
Oh, 5-window. That's a cab off a 5-window Chev. Guys are looking for those because it's got the little windows on the back there. So when you count the windows, it's got 5. But having that one little addition of the extra window on the corner of the cab makes it super desirable to people.
And it doesn't have vent windows in the door.
Yeah, no vent windows. Cool, cool. 58.
Four-door one.
You remember I used to have that 2-door?
Yep.
Toothy grill. I had to sit there and polish each little tiny square of that grill. Not this one, but on my car I had with a toothbrush. It took forever.
This one's, other than car thing, this one's pretty complete too.
2-door post or hard top?
I guess it's got poster.
Oh yeah, 2-door post. You got a 2-door hardtop right here though. Olds. It's a fun little row of cars. They're slowly
58.
slowly getting back into nature here with all this new growth happening. I'm gonna climb out of the bush here.
This 4-door Pontiac for parts for the other one.
See if I can get through the bush here. See, yeah, there's some GM trucks sitting side by side, literally moving these trees out of the way here to get through.
One on the right's a 54.
Yeah, pretty solid looking. These are a really good looking truck. I think I had a Hot Wheels when I was a kid that was one of these trucks that was blue with flames and had a little motorcycle in the back. That was always one of my most favorite toys when I was younger.
They're all short boxes.
Yeah, you always luck out. You find the 2-door hardtops, you find the convertibles, you find the short boxes. Of all the farmers around here, not many guys would have...
Picked them out of the lot.
Oh, you picked the cherries.
Yeah.
So these trucks would have been scrapped if it wasn't for you pretty well, most of this stuff.
This is an old Dodge. Car wagon.
Wait, the Dodge hood fits on the GM?
No, just the emblem.
Oh, I was gonna say that's not a Chevy logo.
Just like 35 Ford humpback.
I was out at a scrapyard a couple years ago and they had a humpback delivery van, which was pretty cool.
A 2-door. The grills are in here, front bumper's in there.
So it's got bits and pieces. There's a fender off of some kind of 50s car, probably.
Could even be one of these, I can't remember. The headlights look pretty similar and the fenders look pretty similar to these. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Looks like this truck was taken over by hippies at one point. It's got the kind of the male or Swedes who were turning it into a Volvo. They put the little male symbol on the back there. Yeah, somebody got creative. Somebody let their kids out with the paintbrush and paint at the farm. Rust and dust. 57 Chevy. Lots of people like their 57 Chevs. 57 Chevys are one car that you can still get all the parts that you would possibly ever need for it pretty well brand new. They were so popular for so long that there's a lot of remanufactured bits out there for it. A car like this, you know, it's a good salvageable parts car. I don't know if you'd want to put the money into restoring it, but it's neat. It's a 4-door post. And for years, 4-doors were way less desirable than a 2-door or a hardtop, but now the 4-doors are kind of coming back because, you know, people like them. You can fit folks in the back seat with ease. You don't have to crawl over each other to get out. There's all kinds of neat stuff. Okay, I was walking by and I had to come look at this 64 Chev, which looks to be in much better shape than that other one that we saw earlier. But I was looking in the back seat, and it's like hubcap central back there. It's like every hubcap that the farmer had on the farm ended up in this car. All kinds of neat stuff. There's always someone looking for a hubcap.
Oh yeah, me too sometimes.
No, I bet, yeah.
Gee, that is a short box step side.
Chev Apaches, there's a Dodge short box step side. And for those of you that aren't really into trucks, the shorter the box, generally more desirable. If it's a fleet side, it has flat sides, it's not as cool. So when you have a step side like that with the side mounts, that's kind of what the collectors want. Well, they're more desirable. That's a short box step side too. Well, this is the one I came to have a look at. It's a pretty rare vehicle. You can see it last on the road, 1973-74. Odds are the engine's gonna need rebuilding. The body, the outside of the body is not terrible, but it does have some rust on the chassis. This is a unibody car. Tires aren't even round on it. Needs a windshield. The biggest challenge on this would be not the interior. That's, you know, upholstery and stuff, that's no big deal. It's going to be the rust repair, the mechanical, and someone has salvaged the window mechanism and the exterior skin off the back of this door, and that's gonna be really hard to replace. You'd have to find a Falcon, probably same vintage, to get that on there. I'm gonna give it some thought. What's the deal on the old red Chevy truck there?
Runs, drives, for sale.
It's an 85?
Yeah.
Huh. What's the going price on something like that?
Yeah, it's good,
3,500 Canadian. Well,
whatever.
yeah. Actually, the body doesn't look too bad.
It's all new panels on it.
So it's all new steel, runs and drives.
Use a paint job.
Yeah, somebody's put some sportier tires on it at some point.
Yeah.
Neat. Got an old taxi sitting there. I guess the ride was so expensive, they just left the car. Well, it was a fun day. Of course, buying a car out of a scrapyard is no comparison to buying a car that's already done, like the Buick. The price point is much, much different between a car like that and one that's sitting in the field. And you have to consider the cost of restoration can get very high. It's always better, in my opinion, to buy a car that's restored
unless you own a body shop and you can afford to do the restoration yourself, the cost of repairs on a junkyard car are really through the roof. There were quite a few interesting cars in that field though. The old T-Birds were neat, the 63 or 4 Impala. I don't know off the top of my head. It looked like maybe a 63 or 4 Impala that the guy had there, the 2-door. And of course the Frontenac, which there's one of only 5 left probably in the whole world, which that's one of. Even though it's really rare, that doesn't mean valuable. A rare vehicle, just because there's not a lot of them around doesn't mean everybody wants one. So you could spend $20, $30, $40,000 just repairing something like that, and it's probably only going to be worth 15 or 20 when it's done. So in my opinion, probably the best car in that field might be the Mustang Fox Body, which is already a running and driving car. It's just a tired old car sitting there, but pretty desirable with the 4-speed and the 5-liter. From the day though, I think the Buick is probably the winner hands down. I've made an offer on it and it looks like I might be getting it. We're gonna find out tomorrow. The family's just talking, but it sounds like they want to accept my offer. So after all this today, I might be going home with a really nice Buick. We'll find out though. So you have to stay tuned for another video to see if that actually happened. Thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.